Hello, I'm Wendy Wilson, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Realizing Potential. Today, I have one of my colleagues he's actually in the studio. I'm in my office, but I have great admiration and respect for him. He's made great strides in the area of science and math and really helped to put Albany State University on the map. He is none other than Dr. Robert Owor. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, Dr. Wilson. How are you?
Good, good, good. And so, of course, we're not usually we'd be in the studio together, but we're still navigating this coronavirus, which I know we will get beyond one day. But always excited to have you. Tell the viewers who may not know, and I'm sure it's a small group, who may not know about your background. Tell us where you're from and what you've done at Albany State thus far, and also your specific role. And then we'll segue into this great partnership that you have with IBM.
Okay. Yes, my name is Dr. Robert Stephen Owor, and I am the Executive Director of the Center for Innovation and Emerging Technologies. I got my doctorate from Albany University in Computer Science and Software Engineering. I have been at Albany State for 17 years now. I was also chair of Math and Computer Science. We are very excited about different things that we are doing to see that Albany State progresses. So we have done a lot of work with machine learning, data analytics. We have also worked with the Nexus degree program. We created the first Nexus degree program in the state of Georgia, which allows people to do blockchain with analytics and blockchain with machine learning. We have also done a lot of fintech work. Fintech is a very big industry in the state of Georgia, and so we are training students in fintech, and now we have also started training students in quantum computing. So we just formed a $100 million contract with IBM, a partnership of about 12 universities, and we'll be working to develop quantum computing as well. So those are some of the things that we're working on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. So, Dr. Owor, now you have to be fair, and so you are, an expert in the hard sciences. So, for us novice out here, and those that I got to see in most of my science classes, I have to admit I'm very transparent. Yeah. So, please give us a little more information or help to define. I'm curious about the fintech, and I know we want to talk in depth about the quantum computing, but give us some definition to those viewers who may not be familiar so that they have a full understanding of the impact that we're making in terms of the development and the education of our students in those disciplines.
Yes. So the fintech industry is a new industry. So what is happening is the world of business and finance is being affected by the technological revolution, just like every other sector of industry. So in the world of finance, you have payments technology coming up. So new types of payments. You see the cash card, you see the cash app, you see new types of payments coming in. So technologies are there. Then there are also technologies which are coming up to whether it's loan payments or access to credit. There are so many new technologies coming up. And all these technologies have risen and have been called financial technologies. And so the state of Georgia is really advanced in this area in terms of payments industry, in terms of loans, in terms of structuring financing. So it is really advanced, and it is probably the best in the country. And so there are lots and lots of new jobs, lots of new opportunities created for students to work in the field, in the area of finance, in the area of data analytics, in the area of financing. So that is what fintech is all about. Mm-hmm.
So, Dr. Owor, and thank you for that definition. I had an idea of what it was, but I appreciate the expanded defining of it. I think that will also help our viewers and hopefully strike an interest in some potential students or some students that are still trying to determine what they want to pursue as it relates to their major. So thank you for defining that. But in terms of the IBM collaboration and the partnership, quantum computing. Did I say it right?
Yes,
Share with
yes.
the viewers what that actually means and the related disciplines or majors that students can pursue, and then what will that look like as it relates to this new endeavor that we have with IBM?
Yes. So first of all, let me talk about quantum computing.
Yes.
So since the 1940s, when the first computer was built, computers have become smaller and smaller. They have become faster and faster and more powerful. This has been as a result of the development of the transistor and the miniaturization of the transistor. So transistors have become smaller and smaller and more powerful. So we pack more transistors in a circuit breadboard. So right now we have billions of transistors in a circuit board, and they can do so many things. So you can do all the computing power in the world is based on transistor technology. But what has happened is very soon the transistors are become so small and have become so close to each other that they are going to explode essentially. So we are afraid that transistors will explode. So we need to find a new technology. So researchers have worked and decided, okay, we've been using electrons for computation. What about using light? So they started using light. Now, one thing to remember is that, you know, electrons travel at a speed of about 225 meters, 1,000 meters per second. But light travels at 300 million miles per second. So it is a big order of magnitude. So it means that if we build computers made of light, they will be so much faster. They will be millions of times faster than electronic computers. So that is the research that IBM has begun. And IBM has actually developed a quantum computer. And this quantum computer is made of liquid nitrogen, and it transmits data using light, using quanta. And so it is extremely fast, it is extremely powerful. Now, one of the things that the quantum computer will do is be able to break all encryption. So today you have financial information being transferred, military information and secrets being transferred, all using encrypted information. Now, quantum computers will essentially break all these encryptions because they are extremely fast and extremely powerful. So we need to find new algorithms for quantum computation. But also, quantum computers, because of their being extremely fast and also being very versatile, they will help us to solve problems which we will find difficult to solve today. For instance, in the area of epigenetics, finding cures for diseases, maybe Alzheimer's and so on, it will be able to map out all these genes, you know, billions of combinations of genetic characteristics, and then be able to find cures for diseases much faster. Something like testing of drugs as well. Maybe, again, you know, it will be able to do so many possible combinations and be able to find cures for diseases. So those are some of the areas that quantum computing will work in. But in the area of business as well, you know, it will be very fast. It will work in the stock market and predict which stocks are going to sell, which are going to drop, and so on. And so it's in a whole bunch of new areas. So a whole bunch of new areas of research is going to take place. Mm-hmm.
Well, it does. It sounds like a vast application, which is impressive. You certainly went the whole spectrum in terms of business and then health and medically related areas. And so that is quite impressive. Thank you for speaking in a manner that I could understand. Yeah. Again, science has been a challenge for me, and so I greatly appreciate that. And that's also a testament to your ability to educate students, and because again, the way that we process and digest is important because we vary in terms of our learning style. So thank you for that education. Now, how are we then applying that? We have this relationship with IBM. Tell our viewers a little bit how the inception of that, and then how our students will be working with this, one of these, it's an internationally acclaimed organization, company.
Yes. So what we have set up a consortium of about 12 universities, And IBM has offered $100 million to this project. So we thank IBM very much. And it's going to be a collaboration between researchers, faculty members, and students, as well as IBM partners. And we will break up the quantum problem. There are several problems to be solved in quantum area. We'll break up the problem into different parts and divide and then select a portion of the program, of the problem, and then work on those, research those, and find solutions to them. But we're also training students in enterprise computing. So we are training students in machine learning, in data analytics, in artificial intelligence, and in blockchain. And again, IBM is very, very useful in this area. It's providing us with courses. It's providing us with apprenticeships and internships for our students. And they ask us to solve different problems. We work with IBM. We train students for the industry. The students then join IBM and other Fortune 500 companies and go out and work in the field. So it's very exciting. We have about 23 students working with IBM now who have joined IBM as a result of this partnership. And we hope 3 more will be joining by the end of the year. And we have another 20 who we are training and working with IBM and other Fortune 500 companies. We also participate in what we call hackathons and competitions. So we take students to challenges. Right now, the American Airlines has organized a hackathon in which technologies from IBM, Microsoft, and from Amazon will be used. And our students are going to participate in the competition as well. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I'm excited about that. And had not known, the numbers have grown exponentially. I had not known that it was that many, or didn't realize that there were that many students that had actually been placed at IBM. And I'm sure being very successful in their respective roles. So that's great to hear. And it provides a wonderful pathway. Again, so IBM gets to experience the caliber of student and the acumen that they're establishing or developing during their formative years here at Albany State University. And then again, just a seamless transition into their actual workforce. So that's extremely exciting.
Yes, yes.
Tell those viewers that might be out there, I always like to address, and you work with our students in the K through 12 system during our various summer camps, and that has been extremely successful. I'd like for us to speak to those prospective Albany State University students who may be in the 3rd grade, who may be in the 5th middle school arena, certainly high school arena, about how they need to start preparing themselves if once they enter Albany State with the mindset or the vision of going after something in the math or the science disciplines.
Yes, so we actually have a NASA program in which we partnered with NASA and wrote a grant, and this grant is to train the next generation of engineers and scientists, and it starts from grade 5 up to grade 12. So what we have developed a curriculum which is NASA based, and it is an engineering curriculum. It trains students in astrobiology, astrochemistry, astromathematics, and robotics and drone science. So, and we are teaching students, and we are the Artemis project is a project which wants to land man on the moon once again, and then from the moon to land man on Mars by 2030. So right now, Artemis 1 and Artemis 2 are part of the NASA projects, and we are teaching students about those projects. And we are even asking students to try to do competitions. So NASA has provided some opportunities for students to try and develop some things that can help with this project. For instance, recently NASA is going to pay some money to some students, and the students are going to be in a competition to try and find ways. For instance, when rovers are on Mars, there are deep craters on Mars. So a rover could easily fall into a deep crater and get damaged. So how can a rover avoid a crater? And so different solutions, some students have come up with a solution where they're sending radar and they're sending sonar, And when the images bounce back, they know the distance and the angle at which the elevation is, and they can be able to determine where the crater is and to warn a rover not to move over there. So the rover would stop before it hits the crater and crashes. So there are so many areas. We have also recently actually had a discussion with a group of scientists who grow food for NASA. And they are looking at growing food in space, which is very exciting. So we are talking to them, and hopefully we'll do some experiments here at Albany State University with them to grow food for NASA and see how nutritional content of the food and the greenhouses and all that. Yes.
Great, great. Well, thank you. I was going to do a sideline inquiry and ask you how that conversation is going. I had the opportunity and pleasure of participating in the preliminary conversation of that. So thank you for leading and continue to conduct research. I think that'll be an outstanding opportunity for our students. They had me at NASA. Then extending the invitation to Albany State University to participate in that level of research is just outstanding. And so again, thank you for that. So there are those students that are they the IBM initiative? Is there also still a recruitment component of that, or have you identified the number of students that will be participating in that? If I'm interested in that, how could I go about contacting you, or are there some steps?
Yes, so you can contact us. You can contact the Math and Computer Science Department. We also have an IBM website called ibmasu.academy. If you go to that website, you can reach us as well. And we progress students right from the middle grade to high school into college. And we help with build their careers. So we have the Nexus program for the undergraduate. We have the NASA program for the middle and high school. And we combine the two programs, and we work with IBM to ensure that there's a pipeline of students that we are training and that they are graduating. As you know, artificial intelligence is going to be really the main engine of growth in the 21st century. And it is being applied in business, it is being applied in medicine, in shipping and logistics, in manufacturing, in robotics. So we are applying the same skill set and the same knowledge. We are also training some students right now, middle and high school kids in artificial intelligence. We've begun to train them. And we have partnered with Wells Fargo, and Wells Fargo is doing that. So it's also very exciting, and we hope to invite more students. We encourage more students to apply for the program, and we welcome them very much to do so.
Very good, very good. Yeah, that's good to hear about Wells Fargo. They've been in the news as of late. Their CEO made some interesting comments. So it's good to know. You provided an example that there are exceedingly brilliant, bright, and competent students of color that are navigating the halls of Wells Fargo. He had some challenges in terms of, he said, identifying those individuals. So that's a whole nother show. But so thank you for sharing that, and certainly the work that you're doing with IBM. Dr. Owor, I'd be remiss if I did not do this. Will you share with our viewers and me? I'm curious to know. You are such a learned and such a brilliant man, and we greatly appreciate your contributions to Albany State University, just the community as a whole. I'm curious to know, who do you look to in terms of having great respect and admiration for that falls, excuse me, within your industry, math or science, a figure that we may or may not know?
Well, I actually admire Bill Gates a lot. I think he's done a great job, both his philanthropic work and his work in computer science. I think he's achieved a tremendous amount. So I definitely look up to him. I also used to look up to Steve Jobs. I think he was great. He was a great motivator, and he built Apple, and he built the iPhone and the iPad, and he did a great job. I think that we will continue to see more development taking place. Jeff Bezos, certainly, of Amazon, I think he's doing a great job, and he's working on the environment as well, trying to use clean energy and solar energy and building driverless cars. So certainly those are some of my heroes. Yes.
Very good. Well, you've certainly selected some of the industry titans, and understandably so. And so we thank you again on behalf of Albany State University, certainly President Federick, in terms of your contributions and for being a industry titan, if you will, in this area. I can't speak highly enough of you in terms of what you so graciously give on a regular basis. It doesn't matter throughout the year, and you never say no to a request. And I've heard President Federick on several occasions about, wait a minute, what's already on his plate, because we don't want to overwhelm him. But that's a testament to the level of expertise that you bring. And so we thank you. And please come back on the show to share with us the progress that is being made as it relates to the IBM partnership and the NASA partnership, specifically what it is that that Albany State was identified to conduct research in whatever area that is. I know it will be a success under your leadership, but thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wilson. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Yes. My pleasure, Dr. Owor. Viewers, thank you so much for joining me for this edition of Realizing Potential. I'm Wendy Wilson, and I look forward to seeing you next time.